This is Friday the 13th, 2012. I'm going to continue reading Molasses Moon, it's not a novel, my nonfiction book. We're on chapter, 5. But this is reading number 8. The previous one was 7, and I think I might have called it 6. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it yet. Here we have chapter 5. Reading number 8 in Molasses Moon, and the title of chapter 5, What's Between the Moon and New York City? Wouldn't you like to know? I would. I bet a lot of people would. Even Frank Sinatra. Well, except he probably knows now. Maybe I should ask him. Okay, let's just get serious here and read a little more first. Okay, what's between the moon and New York City? There's quite a bit more to this story than I've told you. Probably more to it than I'll be able to tell. It would take too long. You might think I'm crazier than I've admitted to being. And I don't know it all. I once thought I did. I'm not sure, though. I may have been right when I thought I knew it all. I do believe I can one day know it all. Maybe not in one lifetime, though. So can you. It's amazing what you can figure out. Just reasoning from your own experience. I didn't have to be a scientist to make up a story about why we're here, you and me both. A story that makes more sense to me than any scientific, philosophical, or religious explanation I've seen. So yes, there's more to the gem story than I've even hinted. Project has transformed several times. At one time, I was promoting it as the 5 books of Gem. Those 5 including Two Suns Rising, a book I may or may not write. Then there's Timing the Crystal Wings, which I may or may not write, which would make that quintet a sextet, without including 3, now 4, moon books. So if you think you're confused as to how many gems I have and in which order they came, your mind is clear compared to mine. But just so we get most of them to market. We'll let the publisher straighten it out. And I'm the publisher. Kindle Glow Books. That's from 2012. And another thing, returning to 1994. I forgot to tell you how I got from trying to satisfy my own deepest desires and needs to coming up with the idea of the existence of a paradigm crystal and a creation theory based on the link between time, physical reality, and consciousness that you never thought I'd get to the quantum physics. And that's also an interjection from 2012. It's been when I'm in a playful mood that I come up with these crazy ideas. Being a teacher of matter under mind, as I've said, I, of course, had made up many powerful, nutty affirmations. You know, those things New Agers go around sprouting. Usually they begin with I am, then continue to state something positive and wonderful to build self-esteem and surge empowerment. I came up with a doozy. It's the first thing you're told not to think when you're a child, growing out rather than up. I am the center of the universe. That was it. Well, heck, I am the center of my own universe. So are you, if you'll think about it, or if you'll admit it. But yes, I did say the, with the capital T, capital H, capital E, universe. So, if you decided to tell a story of your own origin before your birth, to explain the mess you're in, and you're wandering around repeating affirmations like, I am the center of the universe, what do you expect? A tale of a humble servant fervently seeking something, or someone to whom to sacrifice yourself? If you did and succeeded, the whole universe would blink off. So I made up my own paradigm, and I like it. What can I say? Since I've already mercilessly exposed my huge ego, I may as well tell you what type of paradigm I came up with. Of course, it took me 6 books, and several more in the oven, so far, to even begin to dramatize or clarify my Genesis idea. But I think I can nutshell it in a chapter. Maybe, probably like Hegel's preface, you won't get it until you read all 6 books, or maybe more. That was from now, too. Remember, the chapter number is 5. 5 is a special number. Some of my favorite words numerologically add up to 5. Life, fun, power. Okay, now, don't laugh. It's easy to explain the missing link of quantum theory and the answer to the big religious questions. Well, it could be easy to describe if it didn't matter whether anyone understood your explanation. But I want to be clear, so give me a few minutes. I had it all so perfect this morning at 6 o'clock, damn it. Probably should have come straight up here then, but I didn't. I didn't get up until about 6:43. I was laying in bed wondering what the true difference was between daybreak and sunrise. I decided right before the sun rose. At the break of day, you're supposed to open your eyes. At sunrise, you're supposed to sing. I got the idea from a bird outside the window. He began chirping beautifully as soon as the yellow glow spread over the horizon. Normally, I purposely sleep through both morning events. I was also wondering why I do this. I guess I don't want to open my eyes or sing unless I have something worth seeing or singing about. There was some great revelation in that as I thought it this morning, but it's slipping my mind now. I think I need a break. I'm going downstairs to the toilet. I won't say what I plan to do there. Maybe I'd better get rid of as much of it as I can before I start this expose on quarks, quantums, and qualms. That's Qualms. Qualms, as related to quantum theory, is my own term. I should at least tell you that before I head for the stairs. I'm back. I try to get rid of shit quick. While down there, I decided to start my explanation by describing Maya's home planet, Kashmir, clarifying how it's different from Earth. Kashmir, you see, though a physical planet we've called heaven in another solar system, it offers and supports a mental rather than physical reality. You're wondering if I got rid of it all while I was on the toilet? I actually did a pretty good job of it, but I don't blame you for wondering. In a mental reality, wishful thinking is a powerful tool for creation. In a physical world, it's expected to be a useless mental diversion. Don't be misled, though. A mental world can seem every bit as real as a physical one, with all 5 senses activated. You wouldn't know you're in a mental world. You'd think it was real, as our Earth. Kashmir is even more vividly colorful than Earth, in fact. But there's one problem on a mental world, even though you can make any desire manifest with a thought. The problem has to do with a sense of touch. That was what those of us who were on Kashmir before Earth was created and wanted more of. Hmm. Oh, okay. That was what those of us who were on Kashmir before Earth was created wanted more of. This is only a theory now. Touch. Remember that word. My whole paradigm hinges upon it. I mistyped it tough, but caught the mistake in time, though I realize my unconscious made the slip and why. Maybe you'll figure it out as we continue. In a true physical world, there is a heightened sensuality in which the sense of touch is the focal point. Though sight may be clearer in a mental world, the other senses are dramatically heightened in a physical one. If you lived in heaven on Kashmir, what you might find lacking is, first, acuity in the sense of touch, then taste, smell, and hearing. You may begin craving more from these senses. That's what got us in this mess. So you can blame your dog. Pets. Why do you think we call them that? We like to pet them. Take the time to notice how much you get out of petting a soft, furry animal. I'm not talking about your husband or wife during sex, so that's the long and short of it, as you'll see in the Seed of Time. But let me get back to time. I've come up with a key formula for that. Time is the distance between I want and I have. We've touched on touch. Now let's own ownership. I have. Maybe that's the most important part of physical reality. I truly am a capitalist. Touching, enjoying something you own and have earned. I may have begun straying from the New Age philosophies on this point. The movement itself has forked here. There are spiritually focused followers who, as in religions, encourage putting development of the spirit above material endeavors. The hippies emphasized the evils of materialism, didn't they? Then there are materially based followers like the Est and Lifespring branches of the New Blend trends who encourage appreciation of the physical as fulfillment of the spiritual. Sound like gobbledygook? Does to me too, but it isn't. Questions as to which should be the first priority, body or soul, are age-old. I reason that in a physical world at least, the two are so interdependent, the priority issue falls into balance. Back to my three parts of the equation: time, consciousness, and physical reality. And the formula: time is the distance between I want and I have. Consciousness is dependent upon the meaning and feeling of I want. I say we can't maintain consciousness or spirit in a physical reality without having and satisfying personal, individual desires. Now here, desires, I don't mean most people think sex. I mean just something that you want or need or want to develop or own or enjoy of any type. I emphasize individual because, after all, you can only feel under or through your own skin. You can feel for others, but you can't exist through their senses. Buddha may argue, so let him. Hope he has a good sense of humor. In a mental reality, there is no space between wanting and having. In a physical reality, the difference is time, the distance between wanting and having. In a mental reality, time is very malleable. In a strong physical reality like Earth, time is hard. I've said that the hardest times to be had are on Earth. I know this still isn't quite clear, but I'm trying. As I said, it isn't easy. Relate what I've said now to the main question quantum physics are asking. Why is it that when we get down to the smallest known particles of matter and energy, they seem to change as soon as we get down to them or observe them? It's all in how we go about crossing the distance between I want and I have. It can be short, nearly non-existent, as in a Kashmirian reality of easy mind over matter, and matter's in quotes because doesn't exist truly in a mental reality, so that observation, choice, or desire easily changes reality with a thought. Or the distance can be long, hard, and involved, as in an earth reality, where matter all but buries the mind, and eventually the tired and frustrated body. You'd think sex would be greater on Earth, long, hard, and involved. But it's not better, just different. How would I know? I made up the story. I'm the author. In my story, reality does what I tell it to, and the laws follow my direction. Don't you wish you were a storyteller? Getting back to quarks, quantums, and consciousness. It's a matter of qualms there. Qualms, according to me, are the smallest particles of consciousness, as quarks and quantums are the tiniest pieces of matter and energy, according to the dictionary now. Except the dictionary doesn't call qualms the smallest particle of consciousness. That's mind. Qualms, I say, are in charge of the three, but according to a certain rigid structure of law. Yet are qualms particles? That's the problem with quantums, too. If light finally boils down to a wave particle, then energy, when you get down to it, is matter in a physical reality. I say yes, it is. In a physical reality, everything matters or is matter. It's just a matter of speed, a quality of time, which is determined by magnetism, gravity, and probably density. The slowest moving wave particles are matter. Faster moving ones become gravity, sound, light, then mind. You've heard of the speed of sound and light winning that race. There are brain waves too, you know. They're the fastest, according to my mind. That's why qualms can bump everything else around until they get their way. Speed is king when it comes to power. It's just hard to do it, control your qualms, here on Earth, in this time frame. Very, very hard. Just ask Maya. I think I'll pause there. That's more than enough to keep your brain twisted in knots. So if you try work it free, you might get a